All right, let's take a look at the P1 Rammaza spawns. So here I kind of have them color coded, but really the good and bad side are going to flip back and forth between purple and the green. The red spawn points you see are kind of a neutral spawn, and they can also be sort of pre-flip spawns. This blue outline is where the P1 hardpoint is located. Something to note just in general, right? When you're looking at the spawns of any hardpoint map in Modern Warfare is you kind of have a neutral line you can draw down the map, right? And you'll have sort of some sort of symmetry flipping back and forth. The line tends to be drawn directly through the middle of the hardpoint and kind of along the P1 or the neutral spawns. In the case of the P1 hardpoint, the most desirable spawns are going to be these purple spawns, okay? So if you spawn on this side of the map, one of the important areas to cover is really this spawn point. This spawn point right here is going to control your flip. If somebody spawns up on the bad side and pushes through and say latches that spawn and then comes through to here and gets this spawn point, their team is going to start spawning there. This can also start to happen if your players start to get pushed up here, right? Pushed up in the hard point and say you've got a fourth here, and then say the green team starts to push up this way, they will lock down this spawn point, or they might even just spawn here by themselves just due to the game, because you've got so much influence, again, near this mid-map area, okay? So really this is like purple's control, which is going to potentially force green to get these spawns. The way spawning works in Modern Warfare is, say purple has players here in this hard point. Even if green is all over the place like this, let's say 3, and then if the fifth player or one player gets behind the backmost player here for purple, the spawns are going to flip. But they don't flip until the green player captures a spawn point. So the way this game works is you have to physically walk near a spawn point while you're behind one of these players. So if a green player walks here or somehow runs up through here, they're going to capture these spawn points. So maintaining or capturing these spawns while also possessing control here is important for this hill. So here you can see the hardpoint 1 spawns in action. You can kind of see the flow going on here. The purple team's all spawning back platform behind construction. Green team spawning front of P2 in the barbershop. So here we actually get to see a neutral spawn for number 3. So if number 3 had pushed out the back here, they would have fully flipped this purple team, but because they push straight across, they don't end up getting spawn here, and they actually go front, so they didn't take this spawn. If they had pushed up these back steps to this back platform, they would have captured this purple spawn, flipping purple out. Probably, in this case, would have spawned in this neutral spawn area. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the P2 spawns. So again, you can sort of draw a symmetry line through the middle. The main spots that you'll want to hold, right, to hold the good spawns, which are these purple spawns in this case, is going to be this bus and this platform right here. So the main reason you want to hold this back platform and the bus is to make sure that the green team can't, 1, capture these red pre-flip spawns, and 2, flood over or flood in through construction and try to capture your spawns back there. So if you were to have, let's say you've got 3 people in the hill. It's fairly typical, right? You might have 3 people, one person watching the wall hop here, another watching front door, as well as back in the back room. A 4th player sort of holding this plat, and your 5th player holding this back spawn, right? This will normally be your AR player, sort of anchoring as people hop up over this bus. If the green team kills this guy, and you have a player over here, and then say you also have another green player here that's able to kill this player back here, this AR, if this green player floods back and either captures this spawn or this spawn, they will flip you out. And the purple team will normally spawn over in one of these pre-flips. So right here, you can see the green team gets a neutral spawn, which is the pre-flip, right? So there's the red spawn points from like here, front construction. In this case, purple number 6 just spawned out in the neutral spawn area. This is because this green team is pushed up into the hill and is almost behind all of these purple players. If number 8 dies and say number 4 pushes out, the purple team will flip fully out and green will start spawning back behind this hard point. See if that happens. So we just saw 2 more purples spawn up over on these neutral spawns. So right here at this point, purple has this back spawn because number 9 just spawned there. Let's watch that again. So 9 spawns. Green's flooding in. There's 3 players behind the bus here. They push in, get some kills. Now there's 1 purple player out here. Because of that, and because of these pre-flip spawns that green has, purple actually spawns out here. And then green captures these spawns. Here's another flip. So right here we have green flooding in. Purple has control here. Green is in the pre-flip spawns. Because purple has so much influence behind green, they actually get this spawn. And green starts spawning over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the P3 hardpoint. So this one's got kind of a weird split. Here are your neutral spawns. They're kind of way off on the side. The symmetry line for this hardpoint is sort of strange. Really, it kind of sort of goes like here. Maybe if I had to draw a line, the close team is going to basically just be spawning in the back. Purple's team's best hope to flip really is to push forward and get a hold of these points right here. And if they do that, normally you can actually just spawn kill the green team as they flood in. But when you do that, you can a lot of times force the green team to start spawning up here or bottom bridge. If it's purple, you get hill control and watch out this back door. You can actually prevent green from spawning there and they'll just spawn here. You can really spawn lock green in there, and this is a great play to prepare for the .4 hardpoint over here. So for P3, look right here. So what just happened? None of the spawns were captured. So right here, it's anybody's spawn points. But because of the influence, we had a 5-person wipe, which forced the green team to spawn out because no one had captured the back spawns here. Purple's spawning in the back spawns. Right here we get green getting a neutral spawn. So if green keeps getting these neutral spawns and eventually gets behind one of these players, they will flip, but this is again a sticky spawn, so it's not going to be easy for them to do. Here's a flip in P3. So right here, purple pushes in, green is spawning in the back, purple has these side spawns. Purple pushes into the hill, gets some dies. Green gets a neutral spawn. The reason they got this was because purple was all pushed up here and green had so much influence up here in this direction towards the mid line formed between the neutral spawn and the hard point. So number 3 spawns out in this pre-flip. Purple continues to spawn in the far spawns. Green is not spawning in any of these back spawn points. So here, purple is able to force green to spawn out in these pre-flip spawns, which is actually a bad thing in the end of it because green actually gets close spawns to the new hill. All right, so here's the P4 hardpoint. Again, there's roughly your symmetry line here. Purple is able to escape the spawn trap. Their best play was probably to flood through, capture these neutral spawns, flood through even more, and get this back spawn, right? And if green has a setup kind of like this, so they've got one bus, construction, top rug, top mid, maybe one back platform. If purple is able to push through and get back, flood back through, and capture this spawn, they're gonna flip because you could see the furthest back player is right here. Right here you can see, again, most of the spawns for the green team are in this back section behind construction and purple spawning way out. Again, in this case there's no flip, but if purple were to push through behind through P2, they could easily flip and get control here. Green is spawning out right now. And because green got that pre-flip spawn over here, purple number 6 just spawned back construction. So the reason this really happened is because 2 and 4 were pushed too far out, right? They were pushed out past the halfway point, so number 6 flipped back. These two players had too much influence on this half of the map, causing number 6 to spawn. So the last P5 hardpoint, symmetry line, again, from the hardpoint through the neutral spawns. In this case, really the good spawns to have are the purple spawns, because one, you have probably the closest flood into the hill, and two, you can really easily wrap back and get these spawns in the bridge for the P1 hardpoint. When you're the purple team, probably the best play is to push up in the hardpoint, hold this head glitch, and when you do that, you can actually neutralize this spawn so that the green team will actually continue to spawn back here. But if you do that, a lot of times you can flip them over to these red neutral spawn points. So right here, we actually have some pre-flip spawns from purple. So purple spawns out here under bridge, right? This is because of the influence purple has pushed up, along with green all being in this section, right? There was no green arrows over anchoring these, so they couldn't flip. Here's another pre-flip for number 7. Number 7's pushing through right now. And as you can see, they flipped. So right here, there was so much purple influence across the dividing line that green starts spawning, taking these spawns and capturing them. So because 2 is pushed up to this half wall, they actually are capturing this close spawn. So purple's now spawning over here, green's spawning out by the B bomb site. I know this is at the end of Modern Warfare, but I'm going to continue to pump out these videos for Modern Warfare until Black Ops Cold War comes out. 1 for closure and 2 for practice. As soon as the Cold War beta comes out, I'll be doing some introductory videos like this, but spawns really won't be able to truly be analyzed until we get the full game so that I can go into private matches and really look at the way the spawns work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, subscribe and check out the other spawn studies videos.